Hey, what's going on, guys? Hello. New day, new stream. Hold on. Make sure I get this link out. Let's do this. All right. Nice. Okay, cool. How's everybody doing today? What's up? Okay. All right. It's been a minute since we've had Joy on the channel. It's kind of interesting. We're gonna have Joy on here in like 10 minutes. How's everybody doing tonight? Everybody having a good night? I'm gonna chronicle real quick what happened with Joy before I get her on here, though. Hope everybody's having a great night. How's everybody doing today? Alright, cool. Puffin, what's up? How you doing? Alright, guys, so listen, if you don't know, follow me on Twitter. You know, if you guys don't know, I'm always on there, and I have a Reddit as well. And listen, if you guys want to help out the channel, listen, all you gotta do is click the join button right here. And you can check out this little page right here. You can sponsor the channel for $2 a month, $8 a month, or $15 a month, and you get a little badge, these little crowns next to your name, and you get to use these little cool little emojis in the chat. Look, you get one of Mike Morris, one of myself, a leech. You get all kinds of fun shit. So check it out. And listen, we're sponsored by Rogue Energy, guys, if you didn't know. So definitely check it out. Use code RealStream, you get 10% off. Rogue Energy, check it out. It's good. It's good shit. I drink the popsicle one typically, but yeah, it's good. Check it out. Make sure you guys check it out. It's really good. All right, hold on. So okay, so this topic. All right. Now we're talking about Joy. Remember Joy Sparkles? Joy Sparkles. All right, guys. Joy Sparkles. You guys remember, right? Joy. You guys remember Joy, right? Alright, Joy's been doing different things lately. She's been doing different things. Alright, a lot of different content recently. She's not really in the drama community as much anymore. She doesn't really do that type of stuff anymore. You know, but she's been doing some other stuff. Some type of, she was involved with a company called NAA Worldwide. Right? NAA Worldwide. Alright? And, it kind of got a little crazy. What? Oh my god. Why the fuck? Why is Queen? Can you go away? What are you doing here? Anyways, all right. So let's talk about this, okay? That really just caught me off guard there. Like, what is that? Marie, what's up? All right. So look. All right. So favorite. This like I love. By the way, I just gotta say I love Joy. Joy's the best. Joy is amazing. Joy's always been awesome. And yeah, I love Joy. Joy's great. So today we're gonna have Joy on here. She was involved with NA Worldwide. She kind of built up the channel to what it was. Well, let me get her on. So I'm gonna send her a link, and we have her on here in like 5 minutes. But she went on here and she helped build up this channel, NAA Worldwide. Now there's a different girl on here. There was a dispute on the channend and I think it ended up going to court. As you can see, these old past videos. You know, she was the creator of all this stuff. Let me just send the link. Hold on, let's do that. Let's just send her a link. Let's do that. Can somebody put this on Twitter, by the way? I'd appreciate it if somebody can do that. Make sure you guys like this up too. Okay. Yeah, let me send you guys a link. Hold on. Let me send you guys a link. What's up, Tush? How you doing? Alright, so here is the link. Boom. Alright, and Puffin, here is the link as well. So we're gonna get Puffin on as well. Boom. There you go. Okay. So, she made a video. This is a video that came out. It's in the description. It just came out. It's very new. As you can see, Joy looks very different. You know what I mean? Joy is looking great. I'm happy for Joy. She looks like she's doing great. She built that channel up, NA Worldwide up, and she has another channel Obviously, Joy Sparkle BS, but then she's got another one called, I think it's Katie's Insight. Yeah, Katie's Insight. Hold on, I'm going to the Hangout. So, all right. So let's get you guys on here and let's talk about this stuff because you guys have great insight on the situation. I want to hear about it. Katie looks like she's doing great though. Seriously, Joy looks like she's doing great. Amazing. Okay. Okay. All right. So who is this? Is this Joy or who is this? Puffin?
It's Joy.
Oh, all right. Oh, there you are. Okay. So what? Joy, how you doing? It's been a minute since you've been on this channel. Seriously, it's been a while.
Since I've done anything anywhere.
I know. Well, typically, all right. So how would you describe yourself on YouTube now?
Oh God. Well, I'm not, as you know, like, and sorry, CJ. I guess I'm filling everybody else in. So you know, like, I'm not at all in the same community, like, whatsoever, and that's no diss, right?
Yeah.
Like, I had no clue the last time I was on YouTube that this was a drama thing. Like, I just didn't know. Like, as stupid as this sounds, guys, I was so naive. It took me over the last couple of years to, like, process it all. So I came back, and for a while I worked with a company where what I did was I gave financial, business, and stimulus news, and it just took off. I think we got like over 100,000 subscribers in 3 months, and I did everything. I did all the content, all the research. We were helping people with their SBA loan and grants, their EIDL, their PPP, and just help them be able to get as much stimulus money as possible because we're all starving.
Yeah, everybody is doing it. It's rough right now. It really is. It's rough. I don't even know what to say about it. It's just tough for everybody right now. So, yep. you get involved with a company called NAA Worldwide, right? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like that's I know. I was just looking at that and it reminded me. I was just like, oh man. So
no, you're fine. You're fine. Just so everybody knows, technically still in litigation with them, so I have to be very careful what I say and what I don't say. So just a heads up to everybody.
Okay. So yeah. So this is a serious situation, and it's going to court. And last time I was looking into it, I know you had control of the channel at that point. Can you explain to me what happened? Like.
Okay, so, yeah, and sorry guys if I look weird or scripted. I don't have a choice. I have to be. No joke. I spent $30. Hi.
Oh wait, so we got Puffin here too. So yeah, I mean I gotta be honest though, like so you So just so people know, you built up that channel, so everybody's aware. You built up the NAA Worldwide channel, right?
It was nothing. Yeah, no, I did it single-handedly. Nobody else. The only help that I got was.
Thank you, Tush. So so you built it up from the ground up, right?
Correct. Yeah, all me.
Okay. And there wasn't anybody helping you before that. Was there a host before you or no?
So no, there was nobody. They had a channel with 0 subscribers. And in fact, if you go to the beginning of the channel, you'll see when I first started before the pandemic hit, I was doing they were wanting me to do videos about rideshare, and that's how I first started. But then everything halted because of the pandemic. So there's this big 2-month gap because of what happened. So no, it was all me. I did the research, I did the videos, I did the filming, I did everything. I was the expert in the situation. Nobody had anything. The only thing, and I don't even know if you would count this, is that towards the last 2 weeks of me working there, that the owner's assistant helped fill the comments. But other than that, like, it was all me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so all right, so what happened? Like you worked there for how long? Did you work on that channel? What'd you say?
It's hard to say work there. How much of it? I worked there from I think February 9th up until I think maybe September 2nd or right at the end of August.
Okay, so you built the channel up and now it's at 100K, right? A little bit over 100K. And then
110.
110. So what happened exactly? Can you speak as to what happened?
Yeah, so this company has a history of not paying people.
Okay.
And I know this is where I feel like people would go, okay, well, I've talked about, doing well in business. Why would I allow it to happen? the pandemic made everything very confusing. On top of that, as you guys know, or people who know my situation, I was deathly ill this last summer. Not this past summer, but the one before.
You were like very sick. By the way, Suit Yourself wanted to say hi. He's in the chat. Me and him are good. Just wanted to say, he wanted to say hi.
I love Suit, my boy. Hi, Suit. Good to see you, honey.
Yeah.
I love Suit.
Yeah. So all right. So you
good.
I know you weren't doing good, right? So like around last summer, you were really having a hard time, right? By the way, you do look amazing. By the way, you look great. You look great. Like big comeback. You look great. You know, I think this is what everybody's excited to see you like this. It's great. If anybody's not aware and haven't been watching your other channel, and they can see you now, they'll just be very surprised. You know, but man, it's great. It's great. So, but it's kind of terrible because what I was following it, and I was just like, damn, you know, Joy's doing great. You're like totally out of drama. You're doing like this totally different thing, and then I noticed there was some drama there. You know.
My God, I guess you can't fully avoid it on the internet, and that's exactly. Like I just. Because, you know, CJ, we to people who don't know, like we kept in contact, and because he's always been super respectful and, you know, very much protected my privacy and things. You know, I told, you know, he's wanted me to come on. I was like, I don't want to mix those two worlds of the drama stuff, and I don't want to get people talking or any of that. But, you know, I said, when I feel like I can speak, I will. And that was why, like, you were the first person I came to. And no, guys, like, things were really bad not this summer, but the one before that. I almost died a few times, and I'm not being dramatic. It was, yeah. And on the old channel, the Spurpinkelbo, I put up just a video kind of explaining everything. And the company channel, I didn't want to come back to the old channel simply because, you know, I was really big on telling people when I left the second time, I said, I'm not coming back until I'm ready. If I ever come back at all, I need to be healthy. I need to be in the right place. Know if I could do this again. Like you know, typically if you get in like my situation, you kind of get run off of YouTube, so to speak. You can't come back. And so I went into this going, and I was able to make it successful, which I'm grateful for. But I also told myself about my old audience. Even if I don't want to do that type of content anymore, I really care about those people and to use them, you know, for views and stuff. I don't want to do that. So that's why I waited this long, and I left NAA, which I'm sure we'll go into. And you know, I thought now was the time to just at least let people know, if they want to know, here's where you can find me. It's very different content. You might not like it. I talk a lot about politics, and I'll continue to talk about politics because the world is just on fire right now. But yeah, I don't talk about any of the old topics I used to. And I'm proud of what I talked about. I mean, some of it, like, you know, a lot of it, like, I'm proud of the topics I covered and hoping I got some attention on that needed to have it. But I'm in a different place now.
So you're in a different kind of, like, you know, area, but like still, like, you know, in life, drama happens, things happen, and it's kind of where we are now. So the NA worldwide, they have a history of not paying people, right? So they didn't pay you, right? And how long did they not pay you? Like, how long did this go on for?
I am so sorry, guys, but this is one of those statements I'm gonna have to say. I can't fully go into detail right now. I apologize.
I understand, but what I'm gonna say is, like, I know.
What was the question?
How the amount of time that she wasn't paid.
I was just saying I can't.
Way too fucking long, like way too fucking long.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's like it was during the pandemic too, as well. So a lot of people were being held back on paychecks. So you weren't the only one. So I can. And
this is the tricky part, because I've had people ask that, like, how could you have let yourself be so stupid? And my thing was like, what you guys don't understand is every business was going through this, and what was I going to do? Like, go and swim in small claims court and be another a-hole? And they were like, they were about to go under too. So, you know, it's hard to say. I'm always of the mindset, let's all get in there and help each other. So that was kind of my mindset. That was my mindset with restarting their channel and saying, okay, let me see if I can make a go at it. And it just got super successful super quickly.
Well, and they strung her along too, is what they did.
Okay.
You know, telling her, oh, don't worry, it's coming. And before she knew it, like, they owed her enough money that she was afraid to just walk away and be like, well, screw this, because she wanted to get the money that was owed to her.
Now, I heard that they were talking about you, like, online. Can you comment on that? Like, what were they saying about you? Because I know you had control of the channel first, and then, like, what made you give it up? I need to ask that. What made you be like, I'm stepping away?
Okay, so so here's the situation. The situation is, and I know Sarah, you've seen everything on this. We have a contract where I am 40% owner and I get 50% revenue of the channel. To give you guys some context on what happened, first so our first month, or not our first, the first full monetized month, I'm going to be totally transparent. We did really well.
Yeah.
Now I can't say how much, but I'm sure you can kind of figure it out that in the first full month we were monetized, they owed me $38,000, which I know sounds like a lot, and it is. But when you've been working for a while and haven't made anything, and you were in my position of having no money and being as sick as I was coming out of being that sick and kind of desperate financially, it's an interesting situation. So they were late paying me, and they did send me $20,000. They did do that, but then they sent me, and I know you've seen this, CJ, they sent me a trumped up bill of charges for about $13,000. And
well, wait a minute, slow down for a second. You gotta explain that a little bit better. Because, like, what basically happened is when she finally said, you know, hey, you owe me all this money, I need all this money, because she realized that this was not a good company to work for.
There was a lot of money involved. I saw the amount of views that was coming in. There was a lot of money involved, for sure.
A lot.
Yeah. Well, there was. And when she finally, was like, look, I need to get this money, the owner said, okay, I'll send you a check. Well, that was kind of a problem because he bounced checks previously and not paid her. And so she sent over the money. She was working with somebody there in the office, a bank deposit or whatever, get it done that way. And he said he'd send her the money, but then instead of sending her the money, he sends her a bill. And on that bill were ridiculous things, such as, in looking at the website, that there were all these errors on the website. They were stupid things like spacing, grammar, spelling. It just made it look really shitty. And so she's noticed all of these things on this website, and she took screenshots and she circled things and showed things and sent it to him and said, look, we got to get this website corrected. This looks really bad. Like, why would you not want this corrected? And so he pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And he told her he was going to pay somebody. Finally told her, look, I'm just going to pay somebody to do it. I'll pay him hiring somebody for $3,000 to do it. So she thought it was getting corrected. Well, like a month goes by, none of these things get corrected, and he doesn't really seem to care about it. So this was during that time when she was like, something is wrong with this person and with this company. This doesn't seem legit.
Can you guys,
legitimate business owner.
Yeah, and I know what you're saying. Can you guys explain what NAA Worldwide does? Like, what do they do specifically?
Okay, so NAA Worldwide stands for North America Association Worldwide.
Okay.
A whole lot of sense. But basically, this was the interesting part. There wasn't really a full specific mission with it, which was weird. It was and this is the other thing. The business changed 3 times. Rideshare Driver Association. Then it was rideshare driver and gig worker, and now I think it's gig worker and small business owner. And if you go back and look at the first video, it was all about rideshare. So
basically, it was a company that was that basically advertised themselves out to gig workers, contractors, rideshare, and people who maybe not be able to afford their own accountant or their own attorney or their own certain business services like that. So they offer a membership that you pay certain levels of membership every year.
Did you ever meet any of these people in person or no?
None of them.
Okay, so this was all online for you. Okay.
Yeah, everything was remote.
Okay, so I can see how you didn't. Well, like, I know you don't want to think this, but it seems like maybe they kind of screwed you. You know what I mean? And like, I can see how that can happen. Though you never saw them in person or anything like that. Now when they changed the company, was that like a red flag for you? Because like, I don't know, just hearing that's like kind of like a major red flag.
There were a few red flags, and everything could kind of be away by the pandemic. And
he's always got an answer ready.
And the thing is that had it not been for the pandemic, I would not have stayed around because I'm smart enough to see red flags. But the pandemic really confusing because this is a business situation in our lifetime we've faced. So I was just trying to be the good person, to go, okay, let's all help each other. That was that was kind of how I was coming at this, and that was how I wanted to do this. So no, there were definitely red flags, and I put my foot down with the website, and I said, horrible. This makes us look not credible. And also, CJ, I don't know if you know this part or if I explain this. They also tried to make me a partner in the company, or that's what they told me. I don't think that's real now, but they said I'm a 3% owner. Okay. But they never sent me that certificate of ownership. They sent me a scan of it, but that's not the same thing.
Yeah.
When I got the 20,000 as a wire, and I made sure to tell them there's no checks. I don't want anything but a wire transfer because I don't want any shadiness. So, and when it came to the rest of it, I got this bill for like 13 grand for stuff that had nothing to do with me. So what Puffin was saying, for instance, rewrite. And what I was being charged for, because I was fed a story that he outsourced and got somebody else to do the website. Lo and behold, he actually got his assistant, and he also tried to charge me for his assistant's salary. So
and they never made the changes. So there were never any website changes made, but he charged her $3,000 for the person who updated the website. But the website, that never happened. He never hired anybody.
I think it was like it was like 2,200, and then I got every charge except for, we were doing gift card giveaways, which I know some people think those are fake. They're real with me. They are absolutely real because I made sure, or I tried to make sure they got paid. In fact, when I left, the gift cards, I asked them to do it electronically. They never would. Okay. And so many people ended up not getting them. I think I paid $1,200 out of my own pocket after I left to people who didn't get them to make sure that everybody got taken care of.
Wow.
That's who I try to be fair with everybody. So that was the only legitimate thing. But I believe even there, they tried to charge me. The whole deal was, this is what I'd said. I said, anything that deals with YouTube, I'm happy to pay for half, like the gift cards, the promotions. But now you're wanting to charge me for a website rewrite when I'm only a 3% owner, which isn't even real. They were trying to charge for people's salaries that I shouldn't have to pay. Stuff that just, they charged me. I was asked to take over all the marketing company to work with. And this is routinely what they do. They'll sign up with a company, and then they'll claim that they don't like them for some reason, and then they'll scream they want their money back after they've maybe gotten some services, which I'd seen them do twice, and this was all towards the end. And so they tried to charge me this company they worked with when that company had already paid them back. Like, there were just all these things that, and I got in an argument with the owners.
Who called that company and threatened that company as well, so after they even paid him back.
So does this what all led up to you being on the channel and you were like, hey, listen, I'm leaving NAA, and then like that's where the fight for the channel started to happen?
One more thing. So there's two more things. Okay. I found out from people in the company. He was doing interviews that week to replace me, fire me, and kick me out.
Oh, okay.
Other part. You can't do that to an owner, but because they haven't paid me what I need to be paid, they know I can't really go after them. On top of that, this whole time they're using my AdSense account. Now to people, and CJ, I know you know what that means, to people who don't know how this works, get an AdSense account. I don't know why nobody in the company was able to get a functioning AdSense account. So what happens is all of the money that was being made is going to my taxes, even though I'm giving them half the money. And when things happened where I got the money, I made sure they fairly got their payments. By the way, this is all public, the court documents, everything is online. You can see exhibits. So all of this is out there. The majority of their claims about me, they don't actually have exhibits or evidence for, which you can see. But I come, as you guys know, I come with receipts. That's always how I operate with stuff. So on the advice of legal counsel, I shut it down and took the channel because and CJ, you know this, you can't just account. It doesn't work that way. You have to transfer it to somebody else, unless I would just delete it, which would screw me. And I don't want to just delete my AdSense account. I was in this position where I'm like, they're going to lock me out of this account, use my AdSense account for the rest of my life, and screw up my taxes forever.
Yeah.
And things don't look great. I'm going to be careful. what do I do here? And now on the advice of other people, it was shut it down and figure it out.
Well, there were a lot of things that all piled up at the same time. Like, this started really slowly. She started to slowly see little clues that were like, well, that doesn't make sense. And like, I talked to her every day, and it would be like, I would ask her, Joy, what kind of company does that? Like, that doesn't sound like a legitimate company.
Little stuff here and there where you guys just were figuring this out little by little.
And then it like kind of crescendoed, and she was in turmoil for like a couple of weeks about what to do, whether she should take the account and stop it and prevent him from, you know, putting all of this on her taxes and screwing her out of the money. It finally got to that point, and then that's when everything, he attacked first, basically. He went out and started saying all of this shit, while she, meanwhile, on both the Facebook group and on YouTube, was keeping quiet about everything, because we didn't know any of our assumptions were truth. We just had really bad feelings about everything, and so she didn't want to like hurt them if they weren't, you know, if we were just making assumptions at this point.
Yeah.
So like at that point, when me and some other people started actually digging into the company and finding some.
I'm sorry, you faded out there for a second, Puffin. What'd you say?
Oh, sorry. I said it was kind of at that point when me and some other people started digging into the company and the owner, and found some pretty messed up history.
Okay. Yeah, that's another thing I was going to say. I heard you started to put out personal information about you out there, Joy. Is that true?
So let me tell you what happened. So they sent me a cease and desist after I took. First, there were what I would call light threats. So when I approached the owner and said, you know, I'm not going to, well, he's not the owner. He says he's the owner. He's not. He's, I guess, CEO, but he's not the owner. Okay. And said, I'm not going to pay this 13 grand. It was a lot of gaslighting. It was a lot of, well, we built this, you didn't. It was our back end that built this. And I'm like, no, I've been pure profit for you, because I didn't get anything for promoting your company. I got stuff for building the YouTube channel. And as you know, CJ, one of the hardest things you can do on YouTube is to try to build a company channel. Holy crap.
You did it, like, what you did was a big deal, so I think it's kind of crazy. I gotta be honest, if I was you, I wouldn't have let go of it. I'm surprised that you did. Like, I just, like, the whole situation is crazy.
I'll go into that. I'll go into why I let go of it. So here's kind of what happened. So I took the channel, and then, and there were threats. So for instance, in the first phone call, when I, you know, told them I wasn't paying that amount, pay me my money. Then after all these things, it was this gaslighting about, you know, kind of like I wasn't doing a good job. I hadn't made sales. And then right after that, it was, I think our agreement isn't going to work. I'm just going to end it. And I'm just going to go ahead and delete the channel. And I yelled at him. I said, do it, no matter, do it. I don't care. I'm not paying this money. You think this is the first time I've walked away from a YouTube channel? Watch what happens. Yeah. I am not going to pay this money. He knew I was serious. He backed down, said, okay. The operations manager he was working with had to sneak the money into my account to stop payment on. It's so creepy. So I took the channel, right, for my own safety with my ad. The big thing was my AdSense account. I was like, I don't know what to do here. So I went ahead, took it over. They found out, and he kept saying, like, we had a last phone call where it was, well, if you don't give me the channel, I'm going to delete it. And I'm like, how are you going to delete a channel you don't have?
Like, you can't delete a channel. You don't have access to it. You can't delete it. That makes no sense.
Oh my, it's so asinine. But so then from there, I got cease and desist letters, which I ignored, and then I had a knock on my door, and I was served papers. Now, here's the interesting part. I was served papers on a Thursday night, and I had until Monday to respond. Okay. That is in Las Vegas, Nevada, when I'm in Oklahoma City. And I went, oh my God, what do I do? And thank God I had some angels on my side to help me. And I got the best lawyer I could have gotten in the Las Vegas area for this kind of stuff, because single time he just represented everything perfectly. He prepared me perfectly, and he took this on last second. My assumption is the way that they did this was they wanted to put me in a situation where I had no time to respond. And then if I didn't respond, then the judge just rules in their favor.
Yeah,
but they didn't.
I've seen it happen before. I've seen it happen before. Real quick, I just wanted to say the reason why I reached out to you about wanting to talk to you about this on the channel is because I heard some other people, like, and we're not gonna name names or whatever. It's whatever. It's fine. But like, I heard some other people because of what he was saying about you. You know what I mean? He was trying to get other people who have like talked about you before, like, you know, to try to gas them back up and start talking about you again. And that's why I was just like, listen, I've been watching this from the beginning, and I know you're not doing anything, you know, messed up here. So like, I just wanted to get you on here to talk about it and be like, you know, deflate that as soon as possible, because like, you know, like these people, you know how they are. They want to try to make, you know what I mean? They want to try to make you out to be this person that you're not. And you know, you're doing really well, and I don't want to see that happen. That, like, I think these people, like, I've seen what they do, and a lot of these people who come after you, they don't care how you're doing, and they don't even really see you as a person. They just see you as some type of content, and it's really, I don't know, I'm just really tired of it, you know, and that's why I wanted to, like, reach out to you, because I saw he was trying to, like, link past stuff to this, and it's just like, what? Like, I saw that, like, he was, like, didn't he show your ID and everything like that? He was showing like your bank account and like.
So look, I'll explain a couple things with that. So they tried to do to me what was a form of harassment and intimidation. He and the person who runs the website. So this is what, which Puffin can talk about. I can't really talk about the person that runs the website.
She's a Karen. She's a Karen through and through.
I can't confirm or deny that. I can't confirm or deny anything that Puffin just said.
Okay. So.
But yeah, they what they did was, and I found out because I had their clients come to me. Now, I don't have access to their client database, their emails, anything like that, their emailing list, but they put out a company-wide, client-wide email to everyone in their emailing list. It was slander, a lot of it. Some of it, they brought up old YouTube stuff. They made up conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
They didn't know this is who I was. I have emails that state from the very beginning, I showed them my old channel. They knew everything. I even told him, you know, the owner, or the guy who says he's the owner, hey, there's a lot of odd stuff going on with this situation. Or I said there was a lot of harassment. You know,
yeah.
And so I prepared, which was no big deal. We can always sue somebody.
I remember way back when I asked you about that. I was just like, hey, like they know about all that type of drama shit you used to be involved in. And you said, yeah. So like, this is like, I remember way back, like months back, I already knew that. So that, like, I don't know. I've had my eye on this situation for a while, you know?
Points. And I brought this up in the video that I put on YouTube was, you know, that they saw that, and I know there's been controversy around him, but Shane Dawson put me in the biggest docuseries on the planet. Like, who you are, that's a huge endorsement. So that's on my YouTube resume.
Yeah.
I have pictures of my social blade and links to Joy Sparkle BS, to Spur Pinklebow. Like, it is, and you know, you look me up and you can, and I even sent them articles about me covering Daddy 05. So for them to act like they didn't have any idea.
Yeah, the whole Daddy 05 thing was that was a big deal. Very big deal. You know,
well, I mean, not only did he know, but he also lied and said that he's a lawyer and he's an ex-FBI/DEA agent and a millionaire who, if anybody were to harass Joy, he would sue them and all this other shit.
I think that's the whole reason he hired you, right? He hired you pretty much because he knew who you were, right? I mean, that's what I was under the impression, and like that's what I was thinking.
You know, I could argue it both ways, honestly, because they seem to operate to me as a fly by the seat of your pants situation. So I could see they either realized it and thought they could use it, or I could also see them just being lazy and not doing the research, because I'm also really good at selling myself. Like, that's part of marketing and sales, especially I love marketing. So I'm just really good at talking to people. So, I mean, I could see it both ways, but was very transparent, very much known. In fact, I gave a lot of expertise on what to do and what not to do to get certain areas of the internet, or to keep people off of your back when it comes to how the internet views things, because they've been through it. So this wasn't stuff they didn't know. So them acting like it was a surprise. The other part, guys, not only did they email to everybody in the company and all the clients, they then put it front page of their website and basically was like, beware of this. I don't know if they used the word scammer, but they used, language that was similar.
I saw it. It was a big
All
picture
that-
of you. Like, I think there was like some bank account information too. Like, there was a lot of personal stuff.
So in the email and on the website, they put out, and it's still there. It's not on the front page, but it is still active on their website. They put out my driver's license.
So gross.
Yeah, they put out my bank account number, my routing number, the bank that I signed up to bank with, any information about me that they absolutely could. Keep in mind, this is supposed to be a credible company.
That doesn't.
Association.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like something anybody credible would do. Like, no actual company would do something like that. That's disgusting.
But a scammer would.
Well, so CJ, what I'll say is, and this is what really bothers me about the situation is, I did, and you had heard from other people that, YouTubers were ready to jump on this and they were going to side with NAA. And I sat there going, how can you be, look, I don't want to cause any BS with anybody, right? But here was my thought. How can you be that low and desperate of a human being, even if you don't like me? That's fine. You need to like me. Why would you side with a company
that does
that?
Like, you can't like
you were a worker when I didn't do anything to
yeah,
them.
like you can't like
who does that?
exactly. Like, think about it like in a logical standpoint. Like, let's forget the whole YouTube thing. Let's forget your whole YouTube past, okay? Let's forget that because it has nothing to do with it. Like, let's think about it like this. Anybody going to a company and you leave, like, do you expect to have your personal, like, bank routing number, your driver's license plastered on some fucking website?
Bank account, guys.
Like,
I had to change accounts. Like, there was all kinds of stuff that I had to do to put in place, and it was just you expect that the dumb crap on the internet. You don't expect it called company, and that's what was just insane.
And I have something to say about the people who considered making videos siding with NAA in this situation, or NAA in this situation. I don't know how a person can look at this from the outside and think that they have everything all figured out and that they know what's going on. And here's my concern. I honestly could care less what these people say about Joy, because we've all been there, done that shit. Here, my thing is there are potentially hundreds to thousands of people who have given this company their money.
yeah.
Not fully knowing the situation, saying that that company is in the right. You are endorsing that company take money from innocent people who are suffering right now, which is why they're using that company.
I mean,
there's a whole other
crazy.
Side to it outside of YouTube.
I mean, so anybody who's like a YouTuber that like co-signed that or like said anything, like that's crazy to me. Like that's some wildly irresponsible shit. You know?
I'd like to point out about that. Somebody came to me and asked, CJ, you were the only one, but I shared it with you because, where I would consider us more friends offline. I hate to say the word friend on YouTube because, people get weird about it.
No, I definitely consider you a friend for sure.
Okay, cool. So I just want to, I want to be respectful in that because that's how I see you as, a friend or very friendly. So I was sharing documents, but, I did have someone approach me about it, and I said, I can't talk about it. I'm in litigation. I'd be happy to give you all the documentation. Didn't want it. And I was sitting there scratching my head going, why on earth would you not? And then I realized, because I think the few people that came to me about this, that this happened with, they all run in certain circles on YouTube. And I was like, because they want to do a hit piece.
Yeah.
That's it. Why would you not want the full...
I mean, that's what I was hearing. I was hearing from different YouTubers and different people that, they were looking into the situation and they were co-signing what NAA did to you, and and it's just like, it's so gross, like, because like they can't think about it for like 2 seconds. If it was them, how that would be, like if it was anybody, like just under.
Oh, they would cry. They would do. This is, in my opinion, this is what these people are. A lot of these people at this point, specifically, but I look at them as cry bullies. Like, they are just bullies to everybody else, but the moment they think that they've had any sort of oppression or anybody's been slightly mean, they go cry and they're victims. And I honestly, when I went on YouTube the first time, guys, I was angry at what that guy Onision was doing, and I was angry at all the predators that existed. This is really what it was. And I wanted to help shine a light on things. I didn't know in talking about those things, the community I was involved with. I didn't know there were these weird set of unspoken rules. I didn't know you weren't allowed to talk about your health.
Yeah.
Because, and I understand now in hindsight that to a lot of people, it looked like attention getting and that a lot of people scam with that stuff. And now I understand that. But fighting and fighting for my life. And I thought, if I'm going to go out, I would rather go out and be trying to figure it out as much as possible. And maybe if I figure it out for people with their health issues, that was on, like, I just didn't know how this side of YouTube operated, which is why I've been very reluctant. And in fact, I just don't want to come back to
no,
it.
I totally understand that. Like, I know you're not really, like, you know, like, even you coming on the stream is a big step, you know what I mean? Like, I get that, because it's coming back into that side of the world, which I don't even think people don't even know what you're doing right now. It's kind of off the beaten path at the moment. People really don't really know what you're doing, which is probably for the best, honestly.
Yes.
You know, because these people are fucking crazy. Like, literally, you could be sitting just hanging out and somebody could walk up and hit you in the face with a bat and they'd be like, oh, hey, Joy deserved that. You know, it's just like, it makes no sense. Like, you know?
Yes. What I've learned about this side of YouTube is that, and you already know this, CJ, but to me, it's all about fighting over pennies, which, by the way, y'all would be shocked how much money there actually is to make on YouTube. So when you hear a lot of YouTubers, you know, complaining or crying about their ad revenue, no joke, the kind of money we were pulling in, and CJ saw it. He saw my AdSense.
I was shocked. You were doing incredibly well. It's nuts.
So, you know, YouTube does not pay when you do bullying type of tactics. They don't reward that kind of behavior. And what I've seen is, it just seems like there are certain people that it's okay to, you know, abuse on some level. And this, I've really broken it down because it took me a long time to really process this and understand it. But, you know, at the end of the day, as human beings, we all just want connection with one another, right? We all want to be accepted and be loved. Very odd bullying mentality that goes on, that goes, shut up, be strong, you don't have to let something bother you. Well, yeah, that's a truth to an extent. But when you do things to completely ostracize and cut off connection and communication for somebody than other human beings, like by tearing down their reputation, that's doing a form of hurt and abuse to them. And this is what these people do, and they will single people out. And when there aren't enough people, then what you see, these groups they make devolve into, they start drama with themselves and they start ostracizing each other. It's a really weird dynamic.
Yeah, that's it. Actually, how you just explained it is like literally how it is to a T. It's kind of... You know, it's kind of funny. Like, if you haven't been around for this, but like, here's a perfectly great example. Chris Hansen was going after Onision, you know, and then it stopped working. And then what happened is then the people who were going after Onision, like all the you know, alleged victims, started to attack each other. Shiloh started to attack people, and then all those people, they all just started to fight, and it just evolved into this like what it is now, which is nothing. You know, it's just...
And I want to point out. CJ very kindly, you know, offered to get me a spot. And it wasn't just you, but there were a couple others. But I know, CJ, you were basically like, I can get you a spot on Chris Hansen. I want you guys to know. I turned it down repeatedly because I kind of told myself, and this was even, I think, before I was working with NAA, I basically told myself, and I, you know, said this to CJ, this is going, and I don't want to be a part of it because I think this is going to end badly. And I was right.
This is like probably right before, like, this is like when I was still good with Chris Hansen and everything like that.
Right.
Like, yeah, but.
And I could have, like, and guys, that's the other thing. I could have come on and restarted that channel and capitalized, but in stepping away to focus on my health, I also focused on my mental health, where I did, you know, about 2 years of trying to process what happened. And I said, if I come back, I don't want to be the person I was. And I'm not in this sense of, now that I'm healthy, I'm a much more functioning person all around, even mentally. And now I know the area, like I understand what I'm involved in on the internet, but B, anything toxic. And unfortunately, anything that has to do with Onision is fucking toxic. Toxic city. It's just toxic.
I mean, you're doing great though. I mean, you look like you're doing great. You sound great. You I mean, I don't know. You seem like whatever you're doing, keep doing it. It's great, you know, honestly. It's working. I mean, so so what, you have a new channel right now. It's Katie's Insight, right? And I have it in the description, and you have two different videos out right now, right? I think you have one on Joy Sparkle BS and another on Katie's Insight, right? So if
Yeah,
any,
so I have a I have a few on Katie's Insight. I just fired up the old channel. It's not a comeback. That's not how I'm looking at this at all. But like I said, I wanted to give everybody an update, but I wanted to do it when I felt ready. And at this point, a lot of people at this point with the situation, a lot of people already knew I was back. You know, a lot of people had seen my channel, and you know, thank goodness that harassment that happened before, the majority of that is really calm, and most of that is completely calmed down.
yeah.
So I felt like it was the right time to give an update. It's not a comeback there, but if you do want to find me, it is Katie's Insight, and on that channel, what I've really been focused on, I'll continue to focus more on, is like current events, breaking down different things in politics and that sort of thing. And it's interesting to me just because of the holdup with the stimulus money and trying to help, you know, people know where money is coming from, when, and trying to help them find resources. And that's what I've been doing. And yeah, the other channel, the new channel, I was able to get at the start at 10 going on 11,000 subscribers. And we've got a few 100,000 views, so it's still small, but it's there if anybody wants to find me, and they're more than welcome to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you built the other channel up. You built channels up before. You know what you're doing. I'm sure it'll grow. You know, like seriously, you know what you're doing. But anyways, is there anything else with this topic? I'm gonna cut this and make this into something shorter and push it out there a little further, because I think when I make videos, it gets a little bit more blasted, and like this is kind of, I don't know.
Well,
I think people don't really know
I'd
about
like to
this.
say some stuff,
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
some stuff to say about the company and the owner.
Sure, Puffin. Go ahead.
Not only is he a piece of shit business owner who doesn't pay his employees, amongst other things, he's a scammer.
Okay.
I count at least 13 different businesses that have all just disappeared overnight.
13?
At least 13. He goes by multiple different names. In fact, the name that we know him by right now, we don't even know for sure. We know that that's not his real name.
Whoa.
He's
Okay.
got, there are multiple ripoff reports and like scam.com, like all those different like places where you can go to report companies that have reported him and left long detailed reports about the scams that he runs.
Okay.
Not a good person. And he leaves this wake of past.
I mean, a lot of this stuff he does online, so it's kind of easy for him to do this. You know?
It's very easy because he sets up shop. He doesn't really know what the hell he's doing. Like right now, they've got two separate licenses under two different names. He's skated out on rent that he owes at different places to the point where those companies have sued him for rent. He doesn't pay the services that he hires. There's different things that he doesn't pay them, which is really why he can't have an AdSense account, because he had something with Google where
that makes a lot of sense.
But one of his big scams, and everybody should know not to ever do this with a company that you find online, but he would take over, or claim he was take over in luxury rentals. Like if you had a yacht that you couldn't afford the payments on, he would say that his company would take it over and that they would basically take over the payments and do a refinance kind of thing. But then he would take the property, rent it out to other people, abuse the hell out of it, and that person would never see their property again.
Okay.
And,
wow.
Like there's stories online about him taking somebody's fees for something, and she never got any money for it. What he promised never happened, and when she finally got her car back, it had been in accidents. Like it was all fucked up. And he's just got a history of doing all this stuff, and he threatens people anytime anybody leaves a review for him that, or he's a private investigator, or he's law enforcement. They're going to be sorry if they do this, and it's pretty obvious that it's him because he can't spell for shit.
Yeah.
And you can see his writing patterns. So he's just not a good person, and he has. In fact, we were completely shocked he would dare even show up in court, because there's so much about his company and about his past that I'm sure he doesn't want.
No, I don't even know, but if I was you, I'd bring this shit up in court for sure. You know?
Well, you kind of can and you can't, because you have to focus on what the thing you're focusing on is. You know what I mean?
Let me explain that part of it. So, guys, I didn't just get sued, okay? It wasn't just like a small claim situation or a state situation. I'm in federal court. And by the way, and CJ, I know you've done some court stuff. You might know about this more than I do. I've had some speeding tickets. That's what I know about court. Like, this is all super brand new for me, but apparently this is like the step below the Supreme-ish court or something.
Yeah, no, federal court's very serious, yeah.
So, and they alleged like 14 different things about me. Like and by the way, like I said, all the paperwork is out there. This is all public information. In fact, Ladies Insight, I actually go into like reading some of the court documents and things that happened. Problem is that when you do federal court, and I'm not saying it's a problem, but I'm just saying in regards to how this all operates, two problems. Number one, with federal court, the way it works is you have a very specific docket and there's a very specific schedule you go by in terms of how you set things up. So like the first three, I believe it was the first 3 meetings we had in court was all about figuring out who is going to be the receiver of the funds for the channel. And then from there, then you go through these specific issues, and then at some point there's discovery. What I want people to understand is I spent almost $30,000. So if it sounds like I made money even a little bit, it's all gone. It is all gone.
Yeah.
I've already spent 30 grand on an amazing lawyer helping me with all of this. So 2 things. Number one, I would spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to take this to court. And even if all this information got exposed, here's the problem. At the end of the day, we still have a contract.
Okay.
And we still have a contract. So, and you were asking about the CJ. You said, why did I end up leaving? I'll tell you why I left. Because I looked at this and I said, if I continue to work for them, I have to give them half my money, and I'm just funding them to continue suing me. They were suing me for like I think it was like $250,000. And I sat here going, now, here's the situation. If I relinquish my ownership, if I do that part of the situation, then from there, I can go do my own thing, which is exactly what I've done. Now, I am still entitled to 50% of the revenue from our contract, but I relinquished my ownership so I could go do my own channel. And I didn't want to contribute any more to these people making any more money off of me, which then they tried to do an emergency order. I don't know if you know this, CJ. And they tried to say that they should own or take all the funds of my new channel. They tried to take the funds.
What? That's insane. Yes. How? How does that make any sense? Like, what?
It doesn't. That's why. Well, it doesn't, and that's why this federal judge has ruled in my favor every single time, because it doesn't. This
guy sounds like such a piece of shit. Like, wow.
He is.
Jesus.
It's not a fun. If you can imagine, and you know, I've talked about like so, and just so you guys know, if anybody's interested, on the Joy Sparkle BS channel, the old one, you know, what used to be Spurpinklevo, I detail what we figured out over this last year with my health. And so I go into detail about that and the disorders that we found out that I have. The worst thing for them is stress, because it all has to do with like those stress hormones in your body, you know, cortisol, that sort of thing, adrenaline. And so this has done a huge, huge impact. Got to the point, kind of like with the old Joy Sparkle BS channel at 60,000 subs, I'm like, it's not worth my peace of mind or my health. So yeah. I decided to walk away, and you know, that's what I've done. And luckily the channel's doing fairly well. I always want it to do better, you know, but it's YouTube, things ebb, things flow depending on the situation. And I'm just grateful that about 10% of my audience and more keep finding me and came with me. And I have a great little community there. It's been awesome.
I mean, well, the thing is, like, you're a good entertainer, like, as far as like making YouTube videos, whatever you're doing, you know, whether it's for what you're doing right now or, you know, the drama content, or you do on a live stream, you know, anything, you're good at it. You're a good speaker. So these people are going to follow you regardless, and they're going to watch, you know, as long as you're obviously putting effort into it, people are going to be interested because you know what you're doing. So just like, you know, whatever you put your mind to, people are going to watch. So I don't know. I'm not really, if I was you, I wouldn't worry about it. I'm just glad that you came back, because I know for a while you were just like, nah, I'm good, don't want to deal with it. I think you had it in your head that you had to do drama to come back, and that was the wrong mindset.
Well, right. And I think there was also, you know, there were a lot of there's a lot of emotions around what happened, and people know this from the last when I came back to Bleak Sparkle BS the second time. You know, I was angry, and I think I had a right to be, obviously, but I was angry, and I was just really, really sick.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it was so funny to me because I was like, when I warn people that I'm gaining weight uncontrollably, and people are like, she's a hypochondriac, and then it happened, and people went, what happened? She got fat. And I'm like, I told you guys something's wrong with me, and I don't know how to fix it. And I just came back good place itself, mentally, obviously physically, and that's why I left. And I made sure, you know, because here's the thing, and I know a lot of people have accused me, and this is what they do with a lot of YouTubers, they accuse me of being an attention whore or addicted to the attention. Well, if that were the case, I would have put myself on YouTube years before I did, and I wouldn't have taken so much time, several times, to kind of figure myself out and figure things out. In fact, like, you'll rarely find a YouTuber who's going to walk away or delete a successful channel because they don't, most of them are scared to ever walk away from what they built. Where for somebody like me, and not to try to toot my own horn, but I have the confidence that if this is something I'm supposed to do and I come back to, going to work. And that's why I've done what I've done. But no, and you're absolutely right, CJ. I just didn't come back the second time. And so I just wanted to make sure I was in the right place and doing the right thing. And at the end of the day,
and I honestly don't think she would have come back when she did if she hadn't gotten the job with NAA.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't even think I was ready then. I think I had a lot of conversations with Puffin and some of the other girlfriends, like in the chat, Ice Cube Canadian. I'd had conversations with people, and I was just like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. I'm scared. And I was really concerned, but I took everything I learned from the first couple times around on YouTube, and I just did my best.
I mean,
mistakes and not draw the same.
You seem like you're in such a better place, and like you have, like, I don't know, like you've stood very far away from the drama, like and like what people try to throw at you, and like I don't know, you kind of reinvented yourself, and I think it's really awesome. You know, I really do. It's so cool. It really is. Like you totally reinvented yourself on the same platform, which is extremely difficult to do. You know?
And I appreciate you saying that, because that was like something I looked at. I was like, you know, even though the situation didn't work out, I was able to do it successfully. Over 100,000 subscribers in 3 months, and I helped, like, and you know, and I will say this, you know, I want to make sure and put out disclaimer. Anything that Puffin has said, I can't confirm or deny it. I have to say that.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain, at least in some respects, that me and this company helped people get hundreds of thousands of dollars in money they desperately needed during a bad time. And I'm just, even though people like to come up with conspiracy theories about me, I've always like, I don't want to grow up and get married. I mean, I'm 37. I say grow up. Like, I think I am grown up. Or am I 36? I don't know how old I am, but I don't care about having kids. I just want to be of service to people in a positive way. And obviously the ways I did it before, I don't think were the right ways to do it. I didn't know it at that time, but you know, you grow and you learn. And so in coming back, that's what I've tried to do. And I appreciate you saying that, because I sat and I was just like, you know, holy crap, it's almost impossible to come back from the kind of thing I did, but then to come back and be successful even faster is crazy. So I appreciate that.
I mean, you really did. You like totally changed who you were and reinvented yourself, and it's just, I don't know, it's crazy. It really is. I mean, it's the same platform. It's just nuts. You know what I mean? It really is. It's nuts. It's I don't know. That takes a certain kind of discipline. That's great. You know, because a lot of people look. I'm gonna be real. Like I think about it, and I know you're friends with this person, but I'm gonna use Mike and Actor as a great example. Okay.
But go ahead. It's fine. You can have different opinions.
Yeah, like that, like, and I don't even like dislike him or anything like that. He doesn't like me, but that's whatever. Mike and Actor, like, he keeps trying to like change himself and try to step away from the Onision content, but he can't. He can't do it. He does it. He keeps trying to. He keeps trying, but he keeps falling back into it and falling back in and falling back in. You know what I'm saying? But as in you came back, same platform, totally different situation, and you really did. You reinvented yourself, and that's what I mean. No knocks to him. It's just difficult. It's hard. You know.
No, and I know that, you know, Mike has had a struggle, because, you know, and I won't ever just divulge any private conversations. And Mike and I don't talk often, but I consider him a good friend, and I love the hell out of him. And You know, and if anybody remembers on the old channel, I really had, and I talked about it. I was way too open on that channel about everything too. But you know, I would just go on and kind of do these streams or these, you know, I would just do videos, or I'm just giving like a conscious thoughts of consciousness about what I was going through, and I really struggled about. Though I knew the stuff Onision was doing was not okay, and in my opinion was dangerous to his audience, I didn't want to fall down, and I was worried I was falling down this trap of becoming the bully that I didn't want to be.
To be the person, just to be that person to be like, oh, Onision made a video, so I gotta respond, type deal. Like,
right, but you know, it's when you are in the thick of YouTube. This is the other thing that's really hard. And CJ, you can get this, and this is what I tried to explain to people. When to a lot of people, it's like, okay, well, what's going on is so simple. How can you not see it? I'm so sick, I could barely get out of bed, which I know a lot of people didn't understand, because they're like, how could you live stream so much and do those videos? Because I'm such a type A personality, I'll put myself in a hospital. Like, I'm just an odd type of person like that. So I'd be doing streams from my bed. You guys didn't know, I'm half fighting a heart attack. Like, that's the kind of person that I am. So, but it's when you're in the middle of it, 60,000+ voices on top of several other places coming at me from the toxicity of Daddy 05, from Onision, screaming at me what is best for me. And CJ, you've been through this. Then you have people that try to come into your groups and communities, and they try to tell everybody this is how you need to behave, and they try to take over. And if you don't let them, then they start a campaign of hate. And
yeah.
You've been through, I mean, I think most YouTubers have been through that. Like, and it can get really hard to see what's going on. And I'm really proud of Mike. I know, you know, I kind of caught up on some stuff happening lately, and I know that he's got some, I know that he's kind of got a small, I don't know if it's a little bit of criticism. And I also don't understand the criticism, because I've heard people when
what's the criticism against him? I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to him. I don't know.
It wasn't much, but he had responded to something from, you know, I don't really want to say their names, but people who were kind of like, they were kind of joking and making fun of the fact
Nicholas Diorio. Nicholas Diorio. Yeah.
And I heard that, and I didn't really understand, because I was like, what are y'all upset by? Like, it's his channel? Like, why would it be upsetting? Or I don't understand honest to God, and I'm not saying that to be a dick, I just don't understand. I don't understand the criticism. I'm like, it's his channel. He can choose to do what he wants or what he doesn't want. And I know he's kind of gone changing the subject, but at the same time, I think that's just, it's part of growth for a lot of people, you know? Like, and I know
if I was him, I wouldn't worry about it too much, because it's Repzilla and it's Nicholas Diorio, and these are the same people who exploited like the Chris Hansen Onision story until it wasn't cool anymore, and then stepped away and acted like they exposed that it wasn't cool anymore. When people knew for a long time that it wasn't. These people are vultures. You know what I mean? If I was him, I wouldn't worry about it. You know?
No, and by the way, with what I'm saying, I don't think Mike is worried or concerned. I just mean, I know that there was a little bit of criticism, and I personally don't understand it.
Yeah, you know, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Right, and I'll say, you know, but I also think this is just this. Being on YouTube in itself and getting this kind of attention is, you know, I've told this to people, I had jobs where I would be in front of 30,000 people talking and things. Like, I mean, I wasn't like a motivational speaker, you know, it wasn't that important, but like I worked with, you know, celebrities and NBA stars, and I've been somebody that I've had a lot of attention around me before, and that's fine, but platform like YouTube is a totally different game. Like, the rules of the real world don't apply, and any criticism that might be there when it comes to something like Mike. And by the way, you are more than entitled to your criticism. I think he's trying, right? And that's how I see this is it's a work in progress, and people are going to fail, and they're going to go back and forth, and and that's the other thing. I also think as it happens, I think he got some toxicity from covering the subjects, which is crazy that the community that says they're against him sometimes are more toxic than almost he is. Like,
yeah, definitely. I just think I think I don't know. I feel bad for Mike. I think he wants to I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it. I think he wants to like fit into that group, but he doesn't. and I think that bothers him a little bit. But I don't know why. I don't know. I saw that because I saw him react to the video, and I was just like wondering why he even reacted in the first place. I don't know. I was confused by that.
Well, and you know this, CJ, there's always a lot more behind the scenes than what people know when it comes to people getting crazy and people getting weird. And you know as well as anybody else about this Onision subject, how crazy people get. And I know that a difference with the community about whether or not to even cover the topic because it wasn't an investigation. I haven't fully followed the situation. I've heard little bits and pieces from like Puffin and some of my friends. That's kind of how I've filtered stuff through them. But, you know, and those people, if you don't go along with what they want and what they say,
they trash
you. Know,
they trash you. Yeah, they trash you.
It's a form of abuse. They just completely try to ruin your reputation. And they'll do everything short of like these people with me did everything except showing up to my house. They hacked my bank account. They hacked my PayPal and spent money. People don't know the extent when I said harassment that this was at a time where I was so sick I couldn't function.
Yeah.
Like it was.
Yeah.
I think Mike has a good heart, and I think he's trying to do the right thing. And you know, I don't hold any ill will to anybody anymore. Like I just just want to walk away.
I don't either. I don't have any like I don't feel any type of way towards Mike either. I know he doesn't like me for whatever reason. I think he had a misunderstanding. Like when the Onision topic first came out, I really believed it. I did. I believed it, and I was like, hey, listen, you should cover this. And he got upset that I told him twice. And I'm like, hey, because I was like, listen, we have a responsibility because we talk about this Onision shit. So I was like, I think you should talk about the Sarah shit, this grooming shit. And he got upset about that at first, and that's what sparked him being upset with me. So, but like looking back, I wish I never did. I say that to him because I think I was wrong. And I think all those Onision allegations, none of them, I don't really believe any of them. I'm being honest. I don't believe them. I don't believe any of them anymore.
This is okay. So I'll give a little take on this. I don't want to say too much because I know, like, I did have a lot of people saying this is your comeback moment, and I know people were well intended, and I just said this is not what I want to come back to because I see what's going to happen. But I know that. And I only know this from following the story and following the evidence. I know what he was doing with his audience was inappropriate. I know that there was a lot of manipulation he was doing on several levels. Mm-hmm. And keep in mind, I've been following this stuff since 2009, 10-ish. So I'm somebody who every few months, literally twice a year, I'm like, what's that weird vegan guy up to? Because I knew him as the guy that made real weird emo vegan videos. That's how I knew him. And so I followed this for a really long time. And I think there has definitely been cause for concern. I'll tell you what really killed, like what broke my heart, and I knew this was coming because I know how these people operate in these communities. I said, there's some real stuff going on here, and I think what's going to end up happening is, because as you know, and you know this, CJ, there are no rules now. Now, when it comes to if I don't like you on the internet, let me do everything I can to ruin your life, your real life.
Yeah.
And I realized people are going to go so far with this. And they're gonna villainize him so much, and a lot of them are gonna lie about it. They're just gonna blatantly lie.
They gave him a comeback arc.
Bingo. I said this is gonna make him a victim, and what actually happened to the real victims, like Billy, Ayala, Sarah, these, and I don't know, like those. By the way, I know I've spoken with Billy and Ayala, and then some of the others, Haley. I love those girls. I was in private chats with them for a long time.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think they're bad people or anything like that. But like, I try to tone down the whole victim thing. I think Onision was not good to these women, but like, there's a fine line between, you know what I mean? There's a line between, there's a difference between being a predator, illegal, and then a piece of shit asshole. You know what I mean?
So I'll tell you, and this is from my perspective of dealing with abusive men in the past and realizing situations about that, is that from what he's done to those, I would say specifically to Ayala, to Billy, and to Sarah, there are forms of controlling manipulative abuse that went on. I'm not saying he beat him upside the head.
That's what I mean. Do you think it was criminal, though?
This is the thing. People like Onision, and this is where I was always concerned when I heard investigation. I kind of rolled my eyes because Onision is for everything people say about him, there has to be intelligence there, especially to do what he's done on YouTube. He's intelligent to some extent, and he's smart enough to know if you and this is why I'm sure CJ, you know these kind of guys, right? That when it comes to something like Onision with young women, because they're easy to manipulate, because when you're young you don't know anything, and that's the predatory aspect of what he's doing. So but like you said, the question comes into play, is it criminal? And I'm going to assume he has mostly covered his tracks to be smart. Now, Lainey, I don't know, or what's her name? CJ? No, you're CJ. Shit. Well, she's changed her nickname.
Kai.
I'm gonna be mean. I just don't know. Like, I can't keep up with it. But and I also tell you, I feel really sympathetic for Kai too, because I personally think Kai is stuck in somewhat. I mean, she was a child bride. She is stuck in somewhat of on some levels, and Onision even admitted that he was verbally and mentally and emotionally abusive to her. I have videos where he's admitted this. So I think she's kind of stuck in a situation, and I think he has just totally transformed her into what he wants and drug her into this very strange reality where she has no option but to stand by him, because he's been smart enough to cover his tracks, but Kai may not have been. So on that end, I get worried for her, but at the same time, or him, Kai's a 26-year-old adult, and you've got children, and this is stuff that you have to figure out. So at the end of the day, so I know that there's a lot, so it's hard to say yes or no, but I would say at the end of the day, unless there's any actual hard evidence that comes out about this, charges are going to happen, and I haven't followed it,
and like that's why it bothers me. Like I know you haven't followed it, but I'll fill you in. All right, this is not a joke. This is not a joke. Chris Hansen has actually said hundreds of victims. No joke. He actually said that on a live stream.
There's no hundreds of victims.
I swear to God, he said that. I swear, I'm not even joking.
I'm so glad I stayed away from that.
Like,
I'm so glad.
I know, like it's a joke. I'm making like a long form. Like this is the first time I'm gonna try to make a documentary style video on this, like the whole situation, like a whole year later what happened. But it's fuckery. It's nonstop fuckery with him. Like he tries to sensationalize the whole thing, and like he tried so hard, like it made the whole thing ridiculous. Like there's no charges, and he tried to act like he was in touch with the FBI, and it's just like, Jesus, man, like what is wrong with you? Why would you try to say, like, even if you told the FBI something, they're not actually going to tell you information back. It doesn't matter if you're fucking Chris Hansen or not. Like, and let's be honest, he's a washed up like A-list celebrity. That's what he is. He's not really a celebrity anymore. That if he was, he wouldn't be on YouTube. You know what I mean? Let's be real.
That's the other thing. Didn't he have a bunch of legal issues with work and not paying people? Like, because I remember as soon as I heard that, everybody was so excited he was covering this, I'm like, wait a minute, I think he's a network reject. Because I know I'm not, super well versed in the entertainment industry, but I was like, I think he's been basically kicked out of working with networks. And I don't mean to say this to be rude, but when you're some type of quote unquote celebrity and then you devolve into either YouTube or OnlyFans as your only modality, unless you're somebody like JoJo Siwa, right? Unless you're something like that, you've fallen on hard times.
Exactly. I mean, like, I don't know if you know about this, but he made like a Kickstarter. He was trying to kick back up To Catch a Predator and everything like that, like a reboot and whatever. But he was trying to do it like through the fans. Like he got like 90K and everything like that. He was supposed to give out mugs and merch and all that shit. And he only gave out like 25% of it, and all these other like all these other all these other perks that you're supposed to give out, he never did. And then he ended up scamming this guy, for the merch, and he didn't even get all the merch, but he got 10 grand worth of merch. He wrote bad checks. He ended up going to jail over it. Like a whole bunch of different stuff. I mean, and not to mention this this DA down in Texas ended up killing himself live on a sting, and it was kind of his fault. There's a lot of stuff, and then a lot of these predators walked free because of that fuck up. Like
he's a grifter.
There's a lot of things he's done, and there's a lot of things he's fucked up, and like I just don't understand why people put so much faith in him. Like when he first stepped onto the anti-Onision scene, they looked to him as like the god of anti-O. It was kind of wild.
Well,
Yeah,
I
and that's
admit, like
sorry.
when he first stepped on the scene, I was happy. I was like, "Oh, good, finally, someone will, actually give a voice to the victims and all of this." But it wasn't once I started watching Bake Salmon and West Most videos, their Bakeline videos of
Yeah.
how he did all the scanning and stuff. At that point was when I was like, nope, this dude, this is not going to end well. And I mean, as far as what you guys were saying about how do you feel about, or you feel bad about sort of what's happened with Onision, like I feel bad in the sense that I've been through all of this stuff with Joy, right? And I've seen all these lies that people 100% believe that I know are absolutely false.
Yeah.
And when all of that started happening with Chris Hansen, I started looking at Onision and checking myself. Although I was never really that involved. I wasn't an anti-O. I wasn't really involved with hating him.
But you're on the fringes. You're on the fringes, though, right?
Not even really on the fringes. I mean, I hardly ever watched Joy's Onision videos.
Okay.
Like, I didn't know too much about the guy, but I started looking at it from the sense of, what if, like, he may be a complete asshole and someone that nobody should be in a relationship with, and there maybe he's, maybe a really bad person and all this other stuff. But all those things that people believe to be 100% truth about him.
Yeah. No, I understand, because a lot of people did the same thing with me, and I mean, as we know, just recently, that girl Amber came out and said that, and what's crazy is that even now you have some people who still run with that because they just genuinely don't like me and they just like the narrative that I'm a piece of shit. It's kind of funny. There's just genuinely just some dumb fucking people out there that will say some dumb shit and they'll run with it as long as they can.
It's like when people believe something and then they have other people who agree with them and they believe it, and it just becomes this big thing that it's hard to get out from under. So, I wonder, I think one of the most ridiculous things I saw was everybody being pissed off that he gave his dog a blueberry muffin that fell on the ground.
Come on, why are they mad about that?
Mad about it, and I was like, are you people, calm down, seriously.
Wait. What was the issue with that?
I believe it was that the muffin was on the ground. How dare
dogs eat shit off the ground all the time.
Dogs
literally eat their own shit.
Treats on the ground when I give them treats.
My dog eats on the floor. What?
It just was so ridiculous.
Joy, we're gonna lock you up.
Actually be upset about if he's verbally abusive to women. To me, that's very upsetting because
right,
verbally abusive is not something you can call the police about and be like, he's an asshole, he's being verbally abusive to me, even though it's just as damaging as being physically abused, sometimes even more so with mental abuse. So it's an awful thing for him to do. I don't give him any excuses or leeway in that. But at the same time, you got to come to a point where, one, you have to realize you're not there, you're not in that household, you haven't been there in any situations. Everything you know about it, you're learning secondhand, thirdhand from other people. And I think people are losing their ability to be objective and sit back and go, okay, wait a second. There's always three sides to a story, right? His side, her side, and the truth.
Well, that doesn't get money and attention.
Not my right to pick what it is.
Oh,
exactly. That's
what's my favorite part? My favorite part of this whole thing is when Chris Hansen went to Onision's house. Literally, he declined an interview with Chris Hansen, but Chris Hansen still went there. It was just why? It's just publicity stunt. There's literally no other thing that it could have been.
CJ, and I found that out from the girls, and I really I remember take on it. And here will be my take on it is that. With what he did with To Catch a Predator, maybe that's the type of style that they did things. And I'm not saying I'm for or against that, but I sat here going, you are giving an invitation for people because right now you are the biggest person that's really ever talked about this. And you are giving people an invitation to come harass him, husband, and their children. And I'm sorry.
And that's what happened. That's what happened, actually.
They don't deserve it. And then I remember I saw, and I was so disappointed in this. I saw that guy Billy the Fridge, or I heard this that
he went there. He went there.
It was kind of a mean situation, and they have turned, they've turned Greg
into a meme, and into a living meme. His house is like a living meme, essentially. Go there. That's a joke.
Yeah, they've turned him into a victim. And I'm like, and I feel like, for instance, you know, when I was out there talking about it, I know CJ, you were out there talking about it when most other people weren't. And I was really trying to shine a light because I saw what he was doing. It's like people completely destroyed. It's so unfair and horrible to him. It just completely washes all that away.
It overshadows everything. I mean, like, I think, like, looking back on it, though, like, now that I have you on stream, because I said this, like, we were, like, probably, like, me and you were the first people to ever really talk about the grooming accusations, I think. I'm fairly certain.
I know there was Mike, an actor, and there were a couple. Oh, there was one really nice guy. I forget his name. I don't know that he's around anymore. And then there were like a couple smaller people. And I think the only one who called him out every so often was Blair White, but that was when he would screw it. And I came on the scene right around that time that he was kind of like trans. It was right when all that stuff was exploding with Billy and Ayala, and you have Ayala on video crying, saying, "Please stop! You're sending me harassment. I'm scared." And
oh shit! Shit, Shane, thank you very much for the $25.
Friday fund.
I got Edwin on the screen in a thong. I don't know if you ever seen that. I don't know if you ever seen that. But it's a sight to see. You know. But
somebody's in a thong?
Oh, it's Edwin in a thong. You know? Yes.
Oh.
This is very sexy. Anyways, yeah, thank you very much for the $25, Shane. Thank you. But yeah, so this whole thing is with him, they really have made him into a victim though, like really. I really wanted to get your take on it, and I'm really glad you're giving it, because it is interesting, because you were involved way back, you know what I mean? So
yeah, and I saw what was coming, and that's why and as much as I appreciated people like you and other people reaching out, you know, offering to kind of get me a spot on there, I just saw it for what it was, and I was like, nope, I would rather not have any part of this situation, because I see where this is going.
Great foresight. Seriously, great foresight.
I see it now on the screen. Okay, so there was that Christmas song.
Yeah. Edwin in a Christmas song. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, that's well, good on him, I guess. I mean, but isn't that the thing? Aren't all the YouTubers now?
Yeah.
They're pornographers now.
Pretty
Isn't that
much.
What the thing?
I mean, you know, Onision's on there, and he's like, you know, humping dildos and stuff. Like, he's got a whole bunch of shit going on. I mean, it's disturbing, but it's something.
Yeah, and no disrespect, I guess, if that's what you want. You know what it shows me, though? Okay, I'm probably going to regret saying this, but I feel like the majority of any YouTubers that are still around, sans you, CJ, and if you do, more power to you, have the OnlyFans, the half porn stuff, to show you that a lot of these people never made content because they're actually creative or they had something to say or any conviction. It was all just a game to get attention and money, fighting over pennies. I feel like that's what this shows a lot of us, because how many of these people, like, remember these videos that fucking Onion did back in the day, these morally superior videos about stuff like this, and now I'm sure you're just like wiggling your little weenus for everybody, and if that's what you want to do, that's fine, that's your life. But it's just like, it just shows me, I'm like, you guys are just,
when you get a second, go check out his OnlyFans. It's highly disturbing. It's very disturbing. Like,
oh, I'm sure,
like, he takes it to a whole nother level.
I'm sure.
No desire.
Listen, you're missing out. Not really. You're not missing out on anything.
That's something I want to miss out on.
It's like a horror. It's like a horror movie. You know?
I'm sure. No, absolutely. Yeah. No, I'll let y'all talk for me. I'm good. Like, but I think that's another thing. Like, didn't a lot of the people in that situation all do that too? And I don't know. If that's what people want to do, I'm just like, hey, is nothing sacred anymore? I guess not. But then again,
I mean, listen, if they want to do it, go ahead. Whatever floats their boat. I mean, look, I'm fucking around. Like, honestly, if anybody wants to do OnlyFans, you know, whatever floats your boat. In my opinion, I don't care. Whatever.
I mean, and to an extent, I agree. I just get frustrated when I see people who act like they're so morally superior to everything, and then they devolve into stuff that they just a few years ago said was so gross. It's like,
I can understand. I can understand that point of view. I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
You know, it's also, I try to remind myself, it's also COVID season. Everybody out there is hurting, so it's like, how are you going to make your money?
Seriously, that's true. Everybody's kind of fucked right now. Not gonna lie. I mean, COVID's ramping back up again too. It's crazy. Like, it really is.
My job right now on YouTube is to follow this. So no, it's crazy. And, you know, you hear so much stuff, and it's funny because, like, I could sit here and curse on your stream, but, like, if I started to talk too much about COVID and go into detail, it might get demonetized.
Yeah, you know what? You know what's nuts? Like, you know what's nuts? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm like kind of like low key think that my channel was like a little bit blacklisted. Like, I don't know. I've had that thought because like ever since COVID, my views have been significantly down, and I don't know if it's just because of COVID. I don't know. I really don't know.
I think
no, it could.
Well, I think it's because you got shadow banned basically in the beginning whenever you covered when we covered the whole Chris Hansen and the nano vapor stuff.
That's right, because you went out there, like, listen, it's not your fault or anything like that. I was like, hey, let's do this, because we were covering Chris Hansen's nano vapor bullshit, and like it's a false like claim of like, you know, like, oh, this helps out when it doesn't, you know. And yep. I think YouTube got pissed off that we were exposing Chris Hansen promoting it, and like I guess in turn they thought we were promoting it somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the algorithm, I think that they put programs into the algorithm to look for anything around or involving COVID cures.
Because I was getting like 150 views a stream, and now it teeters between like 70 to 80. I mean, like, there's some streams where it goes back up to that, but like, I don't know. It's kind of, it makes me think maybe I should start another channel. I don't know.
No, and no, I'll tell you, like, things can get very strange on YouTube. I've been through this as well, very, very quickly. Like, you just have to say things and handle things. Like, I won't even say the word conspiracy on my channel, the new one. I say blank theory.
Huh.
I wouldn't even say COVID. I'd call it the you-know-what. Or I finally got to where I was comfortable saying the virus, because for a while they were just shut down channels for even saying COVID-19 or Corona.
Yeah.
Like, censorship has gotten insane. So I hate to say it, you know, and I'm not an expert on this, but you know, because I'm not an insider or anything, but you probably have been. That's happened. And in fact,
crazy though. It's crazy. You know, like, it's disgusting though. Like, where is the freedom of speech? You know, like, where is it? But.
Well, and I think that's going to be, I don't know about y'all, but I'll tell you, I'm getting kind of worried about this election because I feel like there's a civil war brewing that most of us don't want.
I feel the same way. I feel like it's getting so serious, man. I don't know. I'm trying not to talk about politics anymore. It keeps getting people angry. Man, these people out here, it's crazy out there, though, for sure. You know, especially so close to election.
No, it is.
Yeah.
No, it is. I will tell you, though, and I think this is part of what's helped me be successful on my channel, is because people are so upset. It is very interesting in my opinion, you know, I break down these people who are most of them sociopaths and narcissists. And let's be honest, they're in the background and they're doing things, hurting women and children, or they are getting paid by these people or supported by it. And it's just this really hole of crap that's happening all around us. And so for me, it's been really, and it's been successful for me to kind of, with Onision, I break down these people and I break down what I'm seeing in their character and what they're doing manipulatively that's destroying. And it's both sides. Like, I don't take a side on this. I hate both Democrats and Republicans. I think they're all pieces of shit. They're just different flavors of it.
Good point of view.
Yeah.
Good point of view.
Wake up. Yeah, and I tell people, I'm like, the moment you think your party is better, you've lost.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not anti-Trump, but I'll tell you, I'm like, I think he'll get elected again. Simply because there's so many people, I think, who think like I do. And not that I think I'm amazing or so smart, but I think a lot of people are like, this shit's so corrupt and he's not perfect, but he's a wild card. Let's take a shot. Like, that's what, okay, we'll try that, because that's another option. That's
who knows?
But I think that's why he got elected the first time. And I'm like, well, maybe it'll happen again. We'll see.
Maybe. But anyways, I appreciate you coming on and breaking this down for me. Both of you guys, really. I'm probably going to hop off. It's around like 8, but thank you guys. I'm going to cut this down and I'll push it back out again. But thank you. Thank you for coming on. Joy, anytime you want to come on, you're always welcome, for sure. And you too, Puffin.
I appreciate it. And y'all, please go to Katie's Insight. If you ever want to find me, you can find me there. And I just appreciate you having me, Jay.
Yeah, links in the description to all Joy's channels. Check it out. Go there. Subscribe. All right? All right. You guys have a good night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for the love, as always. You know, if you guys don't know, I got another channel called Drama Now. I'm gonna start actually streaming on there really soon. Like I just talked about, like I do believe that I've been like shadow banned on some level, so I'm gonna start like messing with that. But check it out, Drama Now, and check out Rogue, code RealStream, and you get 10% off. All right, I'm gonna go, guys. I hope you guys have a great weekend. All right, and I'm out of here. You guys have a good one.